Well, cryptocurrencies are trading mostly lower in today's session, and there is some new data out. A Reuters report citing data from Crypto Compare that the trading volume for cryptocurrencies broadly was down by more than 40% in the month of June, which is sort of, I don't know, more than one would think, even with the price action that we saw. Jared Blikre here back with us to talk to us about that. And I know there are different ways to kind of measure, you were just talking to us in the break, different ways to measure the drop in activity that we have seen for Bitcoin and the like. So walk us through that.
Sure thing. First of all, I'm glad that Bitcoin didn't crash over the weekend, because every Friday I think, wow, this is going to be the weekend. Not something that I'm hoping. Yeah, trading volumes in Bitcoin have collapsed, and there's something called the hash rate, which you can think of as a network, the total processing power of the Bitcoin network. That has just absolutely collapsed, and more so than it did when Bitcoin peaked at 20,000 several years ago in late 2017, and then crashed all the way down to about 3,000. So that has been raising a lot of attention. And let's check out some charts here on the Wi-Fi Interactive. So first of all, I have the year-to-date. Oh, excuse me here. Looks like I don't have access to the Wi-Fi Interactive. But if we were going to look at a chart, okay, Bitcoin has basically been trading sideways for several months now, not really doing much. Given the hash rate, I'm frankly surprised that it hasn't really broken through 30,000. The fact that it hasn't gives me some hope that we'll be able to punch through. We got some technical levels. If you're looking at that chart there, 35,000 is the first big one. Then we got 40, 45,000. If we clear 45,000, I think we are going to be able to recover to record highs. But until people are more interested in actually using Bitcoin and transferring it or doing other things that require the services of miners, I just don't see it really going anywhere. But the fact that it hasn't collapsed just yet is very encouraging, especially given all the negative technicals that I've been seeing.
And Jared, bringing this back, and certainly, Bitcoin is a part of the financial market conversation, the mainstream conversation. Bitcoin is part of the risk asset conversation, let's say. But bring it back to publicly traded equities, what we saw with Coinbase's public offering, it just still continues to strike me that this offering, in a way, marked it's starting to feel like the end of this cycle, I guess. And I know Coinbase talked a lot in their prospectus about there have been 4 distinct crypto cycles, and their argument is that we were in the midst of the 4th. And I'm starting to wonder if maybe the 4th one is over. And so whereas we traded at 10,000 for a while, maybe we trade at 30,000 for a while before, we start getting our act together here, and we see Bitcoin in the 6 figures and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, usually you need a market clearing event when you have a low. And so when Bitcoin went to 20,000, it collapsed, but it took a long time to get all the way down to 3,000. That's when people start throwing in the towel. And let me just give a quick explanation of why the price of Bitcoin could collapse. And it's because miners have to make money. And if their services are not needed because people are not processing or trying to initiate transactions, then they actually have to sell their inventory of Bitcoin, convert it into fiat money to pay their bills. And so this feeds on itself, and this can result in very rapid price movements. When Bitcoin was rallying up to 63, 64,000, wherever that top was, when it went from 20 to 30,000, it did so in a very quick period of time, and there was very little trading volume. And so people, if there aren't enough people who got in at a certain level, let's say 25,000, 27, 22,000, then the price is probably not going to stop there. That's why 30,000 is just such a huge level. There's almost no volume between 30 and 20,000. And for that matter, there's really not that much at 20,000. You got to go all the way down to 13,000 in order to start seeing some really big trading volume. And so that's why I think there's probably going to have to be some market clearing event. Crude oil did this last year. It went to negative 40. Never thought I'd see that happen. I don't think Bitcoin is going negative, but I'm just saying we have to shake out some of the weaker hands here first. And I'm just surprised it hasn't happened.
Well, we'll see if it does. Every weekend, Jared Blikre has been waiting. We'll see if it's going to happen another weekend.
I don't hope for this, by the way.
Right, understood. But you're seeing it in your tea leaves that it could. All right, we're going to take a quick break.